This is All Access MMA.
It is great seeing my next guest back in action. He's going to be taking on Jared Gordon at UFC Fight Night on April 30th. It's Grant Dawson back here on the program. Grant, how's it going, man?
It's going, man. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, it is. I was going to say, it's been a while, and we got a lot to talk about, man. Let's dive right into it. You're in Florida. You moved to ATT. Just first, how have things gone? Because it looks like on social media, the people you get to train with, the weather, everything else, seems like everything's gone really well.
Yeah, man, it's really a dream come true. It was definitely the right move for me. I'm absolutely loving it. The weather is amazing. The change in scenery was definitely needed, and the new training partners. I was at Glory for 8 years, and I had never trained anywhere else other than just Glory when I moved there. So, really, I think the change in scenery and the change in pace is what's kind of revamped my my love for the sport and whatnot. So, it might not so much be the change in gym, but just the change in scenery.
Yeah, for sure. How long had you been thinking about this? And, I think it's a great move, by the way. If you're just stagnant, staying in one spot, you're never going to, be able to experience other things. So how long had this idea of moving to Florida and going to ATT been on your radar?
Not necessarily moving to ATT, but just moving had kind of been on my radar for about a year and a half. And really the only reason that I stayed in Missouri was because James is such an amazing coach, and I had a lot of friends and training partners there. But it kind of got to one of those things where I really feel like the Ricky Glenn fight showed me that I needed to change something. I needed to get out of my own head. I needed to get out of my comfort zone. I needed to grow. Like I said, it's not always better. It's different. The different is what I was looking for. And I definitely found that. I'm back to my old self. I think I'm getting better every single day. I'm seeing new looks that I've never seen before. And I'm absolutely, I'm so excited for this fight. I'm so excited to show everybody why I made this move.
And why ATT? I mean, other than the weather, don't get me wrong, a little bit better than Missouri, but what made ATT stand out as a gym that you wanted to switch to?
So our two options were ATT and Sanford, and which is actually funny because that's where my opponent trains. But I have a friend in Sanford. His name's Evan Elder, and so we were going to go check out that. But I know that they don't have a lot of small people, and they don't have a lot of girls. Excuse me. And my fiance moved up here with me, and she's a 105er. ATT has a lot of 25ers because my buddy Cam, he's a 25er. He's making his pro debut in May. He moved up with me as well. So we needed a gym that kind of fit, everybody's needs. They have a ton of 55ers for me. They have a ton of small girls for Elle, and they have a ton of 25ers for Cam. So it really just kind of made sense that this is where we go. And then after the first day, we came down here and tried it out for a week, and we absolutely fell in love with the facility, with the coaches. We've made a bunch of friends up here. The coaches are taking great care of us. I couldn't be more happy.
How does that work? Do you contact the gym? How do you end up training somewhere and making it your home? Like, take me through that process.
So I have a friend who trains here. His name's Johnny Evelyn, and he's fighting for the Bellator.
Fighting Gegard, of course, for the middleweight title.
Yep. He's a friend of mine. I've known him for a while now, and I kind of talked to him about it. And he actually offered for us to stay with him until we found our own place. So we've actually been living with him for about a month, maybe 2 months. And we just found our own place. We're actually moving into our place on Friday. But
Congrats. That's awesome.
Thank you. And so he kind of just opened the door for us, vouched for us, and we kind of came in and did the rest, and the coaches have really latched onto us. The teammates have really latched onto us. It's just been a great experience.
How did the fight come together? You mentioned it. It's pretty interesting with Jared training at Sanford. You're at ATT. We've seen plenty of those matchups before, but when did this fight come on your radar, and how did it come together?
So I got a call from my manager because being here, I've been training really hard. My weight's decently low. I'm actually ahead of schedule, even though this is a short notice fight-ish. And they said, hey, I can't remember it's Alves something, I think.
Yeah, Rafael Alves, yeah.
Rafael Alves, that's right. And he he hurt his hand or something like that and backed out. And they were like, "Do you think that you could make the weight? And would this be a matchup you wanted?" I said yes right away. I know Jared, not super personally, but I've met him a couple of times. Super nice guy. Very, very well-rounded fighter. Very, very. I love the matchup because I think that there's a lot of questions about me after the Ricky Glenn fight, and I think Jared is a better fighter than Ricky Glenn. I think that he's basically the same fighter as Ricky Glenn, just better everywhere. And so if I can go out there and put him away, I think that'll put all of those questions to rest. So I really like this matchup. I'm really excited about it, and I just can't wait to show how much better I'm getting.
Training partners, there's a whole bunch at American Top Team. We'd be here all day if we listed everyone. Is there anyone you've been working with a little bit more than others in terms of bodies in the gym getting you ready for this fight?
Yeah, so my main training partner right now is Thiago Moises.
Nicest guy ever, right? I don't think I've seen that guy ever frown or anything. Just always super positive. Sorry to interrupt, but just had to mention that.
Dude, he's the coolest guy. I kind of just showed up here and forced him to be my friend. Yeah, we've been pretty much drilling and training together every single day. He's so good. He's got so many details, and I'm learning so much from him. I'm training with a couple of Russian dudes that I really like, whose names I'm going to butcher, but they're all really great. We've all been working together. I was working with Dustin Poirier yesterday. Mike Brown, my coach, asked me to come in and kind of drill with him, so that was cool. It's just I'm like a kid in a candy store here. It's just like, oh my goodness, there's that Piotr Jan walked in the other day and just casually walked in and walked to the other room. It's like, this is crazy, like it kind of brought back that like childlike wonder of the sport. It's like, wow, these guys, this is happening.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. You just froze for a second there. I don't know how it is on your end. Oh, there we go. Now it's good. Yeah, no, I was just going to say, that's great. Now, are you still in touch with Krauss? Like, are you still working with him, or is that kind of separate now with you guys being not only on different time zones, but you being in Florida at ATT now?
I'm permanently at ATT. James is an incredible coach. He was a very, very dear friend of mine, and I don't think that there's any ill will with either of us. I've reached out a couple of times and talked, but my coaches are here now, and James has got a bunch of amazing fighters that he's got to deal with. Like he wouldn't even have time for me anyway, because he's got so many guys on his right now. Brandon Moreno is actually doing his camp at Glory, which is so cool, so amazing. That's so great. I think that him and James are gonna click really, really well. I think James is a great coach for him, and he was a great coach for me. Like I said before, I'd been there for almost a decade. It was just time for something new.
How was the reaction from the gym? Because I know you were really close with a lot of not only, coaches like Krauss, but also, the training partners, Julian Marquez, Kevin Kroom, all these guys that you came up with. And I know you guys were kind of like a family. So how has it been since leaving? Because I'm sure they know you well enough, they understand, but I know it's also tough as well when you lose a good teammate like that.
Yeah, it's been really hard in a sense of I miss them so much. And it was really hard in a sense of like, this is something that I have to do for me. But they've been so supportive. Julian, Kevin, all of these guys. My main training partner back there was Devin Weber. He's got a fight coming up. They've all been so supportive. They've all reached out. They've all asked how I'm doing. We still talk. It almost feels like I'm still there without being there. My real friends, this is where you kind of see who your real friends are. And I'm lucky enough that most of the people that I was close with there are my real friends. And they've made an effort to keep in touch. I've made an effort to keep in touch. I will actually see James at my fight because we have, I think they have 3 Glory guys on the card. And so, me and Jeff Molina are really close. I think that kid's going to be a world champion someday under James, and so me and him have been chit-chatting back and forth. I'm sure we'll see him, and I'm sure as soon as we're in the room together, it'll be like nothing changed.
Who's going to be in your corner for this fight? Obviously, you're used to having James there. Who's going to be in the cage with you this time around?
So my CIC, which is coach in charge, is Mike Brown. He's the one running my camp. He's the one getting my training partners and just organizing everything. My striking coach, Tiago Alves, and then Tiago Moises, my main training partner. He's going to be in my corner as well. If Tiago gets a fight, I told him, don't worry about it. Worry about your fight. But as of right now, he doesn't have a fight, so it'll be him.
How's this fight playing out on April 30th?
Man, this is a tough one. I'm making no, I'm not underestimating him. I'm not I think this is a tough one. He's going to be there all 3 rounds. I'm not going to be able to put him away early. This is going to be one that I'm going to have to dig deep for, but that's what I want. I want to prove that 3rd round of Ricky Glenn wrong. So that's my goal.
Okay, last question. Besides the gym, what's your favorite part about Florida so far?
That thing.
Yeah, exactly. Because people forget you're from Nebraska originally, right? So it's even colder over there. So, I mean, this is like paradise, I'm sure.
So and this is what I was telling my fiance, I was born in Wisconsin, grew up in Nebraska, and then for the last decade lived in Missouri. Those are all 3 the same state, except one's a little bit colder than the others. And so I'm definitely ready for, dude, you want to hear, I'm going to talk your ear off. The week that I left, we had a 75-degree day and a snowstorm in the same week.
Wow.
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'll take sunshine and a little bit of rain every now and then. I'm getting tan. Y'all are going to see a brand new Grant Dawson. I can't wait.
And we can't wait, man. April 30th, UFC Fight Night. Grant, thanks so much for doing this, man. And glad to see everything's worked out so well. Just remind people where they can find you on social media. And if you got any sponsors or shout outs, I'll give you the last word.
Follow me on Instagram, guys. I don't really get on Facebook, and I hate Twitter. So follow me on Instagram.